AxCNH.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Turn that dial and gather round the wireless, because the ticker is crackling and the crypto front is roaring. First across the wire, the mighty Bitcoin storms past the 120,000 mark, a 2-month high that's got traders dancing like it's payday at the factory gates. Market historians remind us that just a fortnight ago, prices were struggling to hold their ground near 110,000. What's behind the surge? Analysts point to whispers of easier monetary policy, fading fears of tightened credit, and a sudden wave of fresh inflows into exchange-traded funds. In trading pits and telegram wires alike, the talk is of momentum returning just as the year's final quarter begins. Long-time speculators call it a revival. Newcomers say it's a fresh dawn. Either way, the lamps on every trading desk are burning bright tonight. In other developments, a jamboree to make any social secretary blush, Token 2049 held in Singapore has just wound down after 2 thunderous days of speeches, zip lines, and jazz band energy. Attendance reached an eye-popping 25,000 souls, packing the halls in a carnival of handshakes and announcements. The chatter wasn't just about the price of coins, but the machinery of tomorrow. Tokenization of real-world assets, regulation of stablecoins, and the grand designs of venture capital. Some speakers brought fire, others brought spectacle, but all agreed the industry is maturing faster than a loaf in the ration oven. Industry press reported packed panel rooms where regulators rubbed shoulders with entrepreneurs, and even big-name political families made appearances. Observers noted that never before has the digital asset industry looked so much like a World's Fair of finance. Turning to the ledger of innovation, a new financial instrument steps smartly onto the global stage. The AxCNH, a stablecoin pegged to the offshore Chinese yuan, has been issued with official blessing and is being promoted as a vehicle for trade and settlement beyond traditional banking corridors. Supporters say it is proof that digital rails are no longer the preserve of the dollar alone. Early reports highlight that the coin has already seen cross-border use cases in test transactions. Economists describe it as part of a broader push to weave blockchain into international commerce. Whether it becomes a rival to long-standing currencies is a question still out for tender, but it signals a decisive step toward monetary competition in the digital age. On the regulatory front, a curiosity has sprung to life. A no-action letter from the Securities and Exchange Commission. Yes, you heard right. Clearing the way for a project called DoubleZero. In plain terms, the agency has said it will not recommend enforcement action against the company for its proposed token distribution plan. Instead of the usual stop signs and stern warnings, the Commission tipped its hat and waved the convoy through, at least under the narrow circumstances outlined. Commentators in the legal journals are calling it a rare and significant moment. For developers building the underpinnings of decentralized infrastructure, it's seen as a landmark, a chance to experiment with a degree of clarity. Mind you, it's one letter, not a rewrite of the statutes, but in a world hungry for regulatory certainty, it feels like a stiff breeze in the right direction. And finally, the exchange-traded battalions are limbering up. With fresh rules now in force, a flood of crypto exchange-traded funds is expected to roll down the market's main street like a ticker tape parade. The new framework trims down red tape, sets clearer timelines, and reduces the need for case-by-case approvals. Already, major issuers are queuing to launch products tied not only to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also to baskets of digital assets. Commentators say this could mark the biggest expansion of investment products in the sector since the first Bitcoin ETFs were approved. For pension funds, asset managers, and retail investors alike, the implication is simple: easier access, broader choice, and a market that looks more like the familiar world of equities every passing day. If the last season was a rehearsal, this quarter may be remembered as opening night for crypto on the grand investment stage. That's the bulletin, folks. Prices marching, conferences roaring, new coins entering circulation, regulators tipping the brim, and ETFs forming ranks. Keep your sets tuned and your ration books tidy. We'll be back after a brief interlude with more from the front lines of digital finance. Until then, this is your cheerful announcer signing off. Chin up, eyes forward, and mind the wires.